If I'm drunk or coked up, I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
If I'm stoned, I feel bad for the other person. Fuck you. If it's 2 PM and you ain't high, go fuck yourself. Get out of my face. I want you around me like I want cancer in my ball sack. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come around here looking at me with your fucking wide eyes, thinking that I'm gonna reform. Go fuck yourself. My morning starts at 5:30 a.m. Either you're there or you're square. You know what I'm saying? That shit. I'm allowed to vote now. I haven't had a felony in 15 years.
You can vote now?
I can vote now, but I don't want to vote.
That's what happens? It's a 15-year break off?
10 years. But I don't want to vote because what were my choices last year? Palin, the old guy, and Obama. All three of them were bad choices.
Okay.
They weren't intelligent. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So part of me is in, the other part of me isn't.
Okay. What was... what happened with didn't you have someone hostage? Can you talk about that?
Yeah,
in
1987, I was 27 years old, whatever. I was working in Boulder. I was going to school at night, and I was snorting coke with 3 hands. You know? And I fucking got involved with some kid, and he was going to rob his roommate, and ended up robbing them, both of them. And then the guy that I had as a partner was going to rob me. What a tangle web we weave when we tangle to deceive. And it just so happens that the guy got caught. Like I told the guy I didn't want nothing to do with it, even though I had the coke with me. I sent the coke to Aspen, but the other guy, the guy that tried to rob me, he ended up getting pulled over with the guy we kidnapped in the trunk of his car, all fucking bandled up and shit. So I got arrested for the kidnapping too and everything. But you know what? I fucked up. You know, when I kidnapped that guy, I kidnapped him. I did that. I got 4 years. I got off fucking easy. They should have thrown me in there for 10 fucking years. But people don't really see
How much time did you actually do?
18 months, 16 months.
That's a long time.
But it cost me 2 years of my life. You don't know what your life, how precious.
Was it horrible?
No, it wasn't horrible. I could do it standing on my head. But the only people
that's gangster talk.
I could do that time standing on my head. Listen, when you do time, bro, and you do time, guys like you don't. It's just another day in paradise. They're gonna take us to a place where we get the bullshit about jiu-jitsu instead of 2 hours a day, 8 hours a day. You follow me, and you eat and whatever. Your freedom gets lost, which sucks. But it's the people at home. It's not you or whatever. I could do whatever the fuck. Bro, my genes are from Cuba, motherfucker.
Tell me about.
I smoked the weed Castro smoked before he went to the mountains to take over. You understand me? Wait till your dog gets fucking. Wait till your dog's pregnant, comes out with a fucking iPhone, cocksucker. You dirty bastard. And you have to call fucking America's Most Wanted, you filthy fuck.
I don't.
What was a typical day in prison like for you? Like at that 6 months, you're in there 6 months. What's a typical day?
Living like a doctor.
You liked it.
Bro, you got to remember, I went to prison for 4 years. I got sentenced, but guess what I became? I became a stand-up comic. I learned how to do stand-up comedy
in prison.
On Thursday nights, they used to have movie night.
I didn't even know that.
Dog, they used to have movie night on Thursday night. So the projector would always fuck up, like Ustream. It would always fuck up.
Joey, talking to the microphone.
It would always fuck up. So on Thursdays, the people just jokingly, I would always go, what the fuck is wrong with the projector? And everybody would say, Cuba, get up there and talk. So I would go up there on Thursday nights. It was, it was 200 people, and like 100 of them were black. So they go, Cuba, go up there and talk. And I would make fun of the black guys. And
like, what would you say?
We'd make fun of the kitchen. Like the fucking kitchen.
This is the beginnings of your stand-up career.
What'd you say?
We used to make fun of. I used to be.
That's how the movie starts.
Bro, the first day in prison, they made me a baker. You don't tell people what you want. It's like Cuba. Like, yeah, on the outside, I was a mechanic. Really? Well, in here, you're a baker. You know what I'm saying? Here's a book. Learn how to make bagels. And I made these cinnamon rolls, dog, that almost blew up the kitchen, right? These motherfuckers were big. So that afternoon, they fired me as a baker. And they made me a fucking dishwasher and a stockroom clerk, right? So I was a dishwasher and a stockroom clerk. And whenever they had shitty meals, the guys I knew, when they were going through the line, I would yell, don't do it. So I would go, don't do it.
How often were the meals bad?
3 times a week. But it didn't matter because at lunchtime, I was allowed to go to the store for 15 minutes. I worked it out where I had to drive to take garbage out. So I would go to the store for 15 minutes. Not only that, I would call in my order at the Chinese restaurant. So it would be ready by the time I got there. So I would go back to the prison with Chinese food and groceries. That's how strong I was in there. Plus, dog, I didn't fuck around in there. Plus, they were doing steroids and selling drugs.
In prison?
Please, like a motherfucker. So I was in the stockroom clerk, so they had to pay me rent. So because they never inspected the stockroom.
You stocked the
I would
roids.
say to you, yeah, I'll hold your roids, but you got to give me.
Oh my God!
You got to give me $3. You know what I'm saying? $3. It's all about dollars.
You got to give me some cigarettes.
So I had roids, cigarettes, I had pills in there. They weren't mine. They just belonged to other people, but you put them under pallets. So I would give them a key whenever they needed to go take shit out.
So you were the connection.
I was the holder. Plus,
How did they get the steroids in? Somebody had to put it up their ass?
yeah, whatever. I don't know. They got a bag. I don't know. I never
Could
asked.
you imagine
But there
shooting a
was
steroid into your
Wait,
body
wait,
that
so
somebody
someone,
had up his
how do they
ass?
smuggle it in again?
Up their
Because they
ass.
were
And,
contact, they were
then they put it where?
They're contact visits.
Right.
What you do is you take your fucking kid and you fill his pockets with the yum-yums, and while you're making out with your husband, you say, you want to see the kid? You pass the kid to the husband, and he takes the drugs out, then he gives you back the ugly kid.
Man,
All right.
that makes me so.
That's how Henry Hill did it. That's how they do it. Same shit. Bro, there's more drugs on the inside than there was on the outside. And to boot, this was a minimum security camp. We had contact visits. When you have a contact visit, there's parties every night. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers, that's the first time I did it. No, I was like the second time I did heroin was in prison. And I couldn't do a needle. So the Mexicans took a Mexican thing of heroin, melted it. I had to put like a funnel in my nose made out of paper, and they dripped it in my nose. And I got up, I had like candle wick burning out of my nose. What the fuck is this? And they're like, that's heroin, man. Be cool. I was like this for like a day. And then the white dudes, the bikers would give me speed. And they would play basketball all fucking night on speed, the bikers. They'd be out there for Hell's Angels, fouling each other and shit. Really? And I'd be out there with them huffing and every week was a new adventure. I did every drug.
Hawaii always freaks me out the most, man. When you think that this is fairly recent, you know, in terms of like millions of years. You know, this volcano erupted in the middle of the ocean, not near anything. And there's all these motherfuckers just
And you know how those countries are populated? They go from one island and they take canoes to another island they can't even see.
Woo!
They don't even know it's there. They just start canoeing out.
Yeah, and they did it back before GPS. I don't even think they had fucking motors.
You think they went to Hertz and said, let me get a GPS? They didn't give a fuck. They got a blanket and took a chance. You know what I'm saying? Go east, cocksucker. When I go to the halfway house, it was even better because I started loaning money out to the Invics. As a loan shark.
The Invics?
Yeah, because they want to go out. But if your rent's not paid on Thursday, you're not allowed for the weekend. So the rent would be $65. So I give them $65 for $92. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give you $65, but you got to give me $92 tomorrow. And I had 10 guys on that row. Bro, I was a fucking machine in there. The biggest scam I had at the camp, was there was an old Italian dude from Brooklyn. He was like a half a mobster, and he had pool cards. And he would only do one card a week. He would make like $30. And I went up to him and I go, bro, you have a problem with these cards. I go, you're giving them to white guys. You're not getting the black population. You're not getting the fucking spics. And he goes, I don't know. They won't talk to me. I said, give me the fucking cards. We're going to go partners. He went from selling one card every Monday to doing 10 with me. Because I had the brothers, I had the youngs, I had the Puerto Ricans, I had the whites, I had everybody. And it was amazing. That's why I really learned that I could really fucking do this. So on Thursday nights, they would say, Cuba, fuck the movie. Just go up there and talk about the kitchen. And they would all the yams would yell, don't do it. It was hysterical. It was fucking hysterical. And I would just talk about that. And then I had this one crazy black guy. This guy was Anton Spencer. His name was Spencer Antoine from New Orleans. And he was crazy. And he told me that he was in there for 8 years for involuntary manslaughter. And he was my mentor. That was my dog, Jack. He was fucking nuts. And he would tell me about, like one day some guy nailed him $2. And he comes to the kitchen. He goes, did you see that guy? And I go, no, I think he's packing and leaving. This motherfucker went and got a knife. He got him at the gate. The guy was getting out of jail. He's like, motherfucker, you better give me my $2. I was blown away. I'm like, this guy was old. And his parents and family had money. They had like the best attorney from, bro, this guy killed somebody with his hands. And he got 8 years.
Wow.
Beat a black guy in L.A., downtown L.A., because I was in the federal place. He beat him with his fucking hands and got 8 years. And he did 4 for involuntary manslaughter. He had like $50,000 attorneys, this guy, but he had a knife. He had a gold tooth in his mouth. He was one of those brothers and shit that his eyes would go crazy.
Canada is like one of the nicest places in the fucking world, and it's our neighbor.
But they need flavor.
They do need some flavor.
They need Bloor Street. Bloor Street was the only place ever. I went down. I went to a strip club because I don't even go to strip clubs. These are my fucking things. I went to a strip club and the girl put her monkey in my face and I
Where was this?
At a club on Bloor Street. She
What
put
city?
her monkey.
What city?
Toronto.
Okay.
She put her monkey in my
Don't you
face
know?
and I bit her fucking monkey as she pulled
What?
away.
What?
And I could hear the pubic hairs going bing, bing, bing. That's the first time ever that the monkey drove me crazy. I went back to the strip club and I went back to the comedy club before they closed and got another $150 draw and went back. At $10 a lap dance, I sniffed her asshole. Ever since that, I never went, why go to an American place and you go to Canada and sniff a girl's ass for $10?